Would Monchi or Marc Overmars be better for Arsenal technical director role? The impending departure of Sven Mislintat has opened up an opportunity at Arsenal. They are now focused on the technical director model, and that means they need to make an appointment. The leading candidate for the role is Monchi, previously of Sevilla, where he worked with Unai Emery, and currently in charge of Roma. The other candidate is former Arsenal winger Marc Overmars. Sportsmail has taken a look at both men and how they would fit in at the Emirates Stadium. History: Monchi Ramon Rodriguez Verdejo, or Monchi, broke through as a goalkeeper at Sevilla after coming through their youth system. He featured regularly for their reserves before being promoted to the first team in 1990. However, he was mainly a backup goalkeeper behind Juan Carlos Unzue and retired in 1999 at the age of 30, having been relegated and then promoted. He would then be made director of football by Sevilla. They asked him to improve the youth system and change the way scouting worked. Monchi set about establishing a network of 700 scouts around the world, giving Sevilla the bargains they became famous for. In 2017 he left Sevilla for Roma, signing a 4-year deal. Marc Overmars had far more on-pitch success than his rival for the job at Arsenal. He was part of the brilliant Ajax side that won the Champions League twice in the middle of the 1990s. Eventually Arsenal came calling, and Overmars was key to Arsene Wenger's early success, winning the double in his first season. He also played for Barcelona before retiring in 2004. However, after a brilliant performance in a testimonial match for Jep Stam, he was coaxed back onto the pitch and spent the 2008-09 season playing for boyhood club Go Ahead Eagles. Overmars became involved behind the scenes at Go Ahead before being appointed Ajax's director of football in 2012. Prowess in the transfer market: Monchi. This is where Monchi shines. Over his years at Sevilla, he signed bargains like Dani Alves, Stucata, Ivan Rakitic, Julio Baptista and Federico Fazio before selling them on to other teams. They also promoted the likes of Sergio Ramos, Jose Antonio Reyes, Jesus Navas and Alberto Moreno from their academy, spotted by that scouting network and developed by Monchi's youth system. It made them a total profit of around 200 million during his time at the club. Marc Overmars: like Monchi, Overmars has a habit of turning base metal into gold. Frankie de Jong, who has just signed for Barcelona for £66 million, joined Ajax for just £900,000 from Willem II. He also nabbed Derek Miluk for £2.52 million before selling him for £28.8 million. Spurs also paid £25 million for Davison Sanchez, who cost Ajax and Overmars just £4 million from Atletico Nacional. Style of work: Monchi was so well regarded when he was at Sevilla that scouts from other teams used to follow his men to see what he was thinking next. He likes to have full control of transfers and youth development but works closely with the managers at his clubs. There is always an understanding that new recruits will fit the profile of what the manager wants. And his focus is on allowing the manager to carry out his job without having to be bogged down with new signings while being able to take credit for the on-pitch success. Marc Overmars: there was already a thread to follow at Ajax and Overmars has latched back onto it. He has brought the Cruyffian model back. Ajax focus on youth development, bringing through the likes of Matthijs de Ligt, Davy Klaassen and Justin Kluivert in his time there. They do, however, add a sprinkling of foreign talent. Kasper Dolberg was one to come through the doors while Overmars has been in the role. The other issue to consider is that any manager has to fit the Ajax style. They would, according to Overmars, never bring in a Jose Mourinho type. Or, to put it another way, someone who prioritizes defending. It remains to be seen if he can establish his own philosophy. How they'd fit in at Arsenal. Monchi: if there are any doubts over Monchi's suitability for a move to London, they should be dispelled now. He lived in a flat in the city for most of the 2013-14 season and carried out his business from there while learning English. He also had a good relationship with Unai Emery when they were both at Sevilla, leading to that ludicrous run of 3 straight Europa League wins. Monchi is also aware that Emery is a keen planner and tailors his style of recruitment to that. Add in the financial restrictions at Arsenal, with Emery likely to be given just £45 million in the summer, and a man like Monchi with his history of clever recruitment and transfer market profits, seems ideally suited to the role. Marc Overmars. It is not as though Overmars has no experience of life in London. He was at Arsenal between 1997 and 2000, when Wenger arguably turned them into the club they are today. Arsenal do seem to have a relatively productive academy, although the issue is more about a pathway to the first team. For example, Reiss Nelson should feature next year after he returns from loan. Someone like Overmars would be good at mapping out with a manager how that may come about. Overmars is also clearly a man for low-cost signings and high profits. Again, that would work for Arsenal, who are clearly operating on a financial level that is far beneath their top 6 rivals.